Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, directed by David Yates, the man that directed the final Harry Potter films like Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. And if you look up on my wall right here, there's a poster for this movie. So I was very anxious to see this movie starring Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander. It is a Harry Potter prequel about one of the people that wrote a textbook for Harry Potter's school, Hogwarts, Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne. He comes to America with all these magical creatures in his suitcase in the 1920s. The briefcase gets open and some of the creatures get out, so now he's got to get these creatures back into his suitcase before they cause trouble in New York, with the help of Catherine Waterston's character Tina, a magical investigator from the wizard community that lives in New York. Samantha Morton's character Queenie, Tina's sister, who has the ability to read minds. She's telepathic. A muggle, a person with no magical abilities, or nomads as they're called in America, named Kowalski, played by Dan Folger. And there's this evil plot going on by a villain named Graves, played by Colin Farrell. And he's using somebody with magical powers named Credence, played by Urza Miller. We also have a man played by John Voight named Henry Shaw, who is involved with the plot and is a muggle or nomad, and the wizard president is played by Carmen Ejo, E-J-O-G-O, and that's pretty much our cast and our movie. Now, I was really anxious for this film, as you can see with the poster on my wall there. And I really wanted to see this movie, and I have to say, it was a very great movie. I really did like this movie. Eddie Redmayne is really good in this film. I really did like his character. And Catherine Watson is really good in the movie. I thought they had very good chemistry for a romantic interest in the movie. Dan Folger is one of the best characters in the whole film. I really did like him. He's kind of like the audience's eyes, because he's seeing this whole magical world for the first time, and all these magical creatures as well. And that part was very cool. And you get to see the world inside the suitcase. And it's kind of like something out of a Jules Verne novel. Journey to the Center of the Earth almost felt like that part was very good. And there was a scene also in the movie where they go to a bar in the 1920s. It kind of felt like the scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where Eddie Valiant, Bob Hoskins' character, goes into a bar and sees Donald Duck and Daffy Duck on the same stage. It felt like that kind of scene, only the bar is for magical creatures, for magical people only, and some gnomes and other magical beings that live in New York. And I really did like this movie. The creatures that they have in this movie look awesome. There's a platypus that likes to steal shiny stuff. There's a creature that can turn invisible or has chameleon-like abilities. There's some other creatures in this movie that are pretty awesome. And it was just a really, really good movie. I really did like this movie. As far as flaws of this movie, I have to say one of the flaws of this film is the fact that if you are comparing this to the Harry Potter films, I don't think you cannot compare it to Harry Potter films because this is a Harry Potter prequel. I think the Harry Potter films are a little bit better because the magic flows a little bit better in those films, where this film, the magic is really good and it flows very well, but I don't hear the wizards saying a lot of the spells as much as they did in the Harry Potter films. And there's a lot more CGI in this film than there was in the Harry Potter films. There was CGI in the Harry Potter films, but there was also a lot of practical effects. And there's not a lot of practical effects in this movie. So I was not as much connected to a lot of the magical creatures as I was to the magical creatures in the Harry Potter films. They didn't. A lot of them did feel real, and some of them didn't feel real. So that was one of the problems with this movie. But I really did like this movie a lot, and a lot of the actors do a really good job, except for Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell was a terrific actor, but I felt he was kind of underused, or that his character wasn't as well developed as it could have been, since he is the villain of the movie. I kind of wish he got a little bit more development, but overall, this is a very good movie. So I'm gonna give this movie a B+. Definitely check this movie out if you're a Harry Potter fan. And that's all I gotta say for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.